Good afternoon, I'm Dylan Fry. Today I'll be performing Into the Woods by Stephen Sondheim from the musical Into the Woods. There are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible giants in the sky. When you're way up high, you look below at the world you've left and the things you know. No more than a glance enough to show you just how small you are. When you're way up high, you're on your own in a world like none that you've ever known. The sky's lead and the earth is stone. You're free to do whatever pleases you. Exploring things you'll never dare, 'cause you don't care when suddenly there's a big, tall, terrible giant at the door. A big, tall, terrible lady giant sweeping the floor. And she gives you food and she gives you rest, and she draws you close to her giant breast. And you know things now that you never knew before. Up to the sky. Oh, just when you made a friend and all, you know she's big, but you know this walls are bigger than her, 'cause you know to swallow you for lunch. And your heart is letting slow and slowly, you're really scared being all alone. And it's then that you long for the things you've known in the world you've left, and until you want the fun is gone, you see what you can and run, and travel down and look below, and the world you know begins to grow. The house and the world are at the door. The roof, the house and the world you never thought to explore. And you think of all of the things you've seen, and you wish that you could live in between. And you're back again, only different than before. Off to the sky. There are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible, awesome, scary, wonderful giants in the sky.
Hello, my name is Florence Martin and I will be playing Romance.
My name is Leon Dukes and I will be reciting Skunk by Ted Hughes.
Skunk's footfall plods padded, but like the thunder crash, he makes the nightwoods nervous and wears the lightning flash. From nose to tail, a zigzag spark, as warning to us all that thunderbolts are very like the strokes he can let fall. That cloudburst soak, that dazzling bang of stink he can let drop, over you like a cloak of tar, will bring you to a stop. O skunk, O king of stinkers, only the moon knows you are her prettiest, ugliest flower, her blackest, whitest rose.
My name is Anthony Park, and today I'll be playing I've Got Plenty and Nothing by George Gershwin.
Reciting The Playground Monster by Pye Corbett. It grabbed me with its tarmac jaws, and then it tried to bite me. It grasped me with its gravelly paws, and then it tried to fight me. I live in fear of walking across its great black back. I think it hears me talking, it listens at a crack. I fear its greedy darkness, the way it seems to need to reach out when I'm running and grab me for a feed. It grabbed me with its tarmac jaws, and then it tried to bite me. It grasped me with its gravelly paws, and then it tried to bite me.
Good afternoon, I'm Marcus Williams and I'll be performing Sonny by Bobby Hebb.
Sonny. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There once was a man called Knockety Ned who wore a cat on top of his head. Upstairs, downstairs, the whole world knew. Wherever he went, the cat went too. He wore it to work, he wore it to play, he even wore it to town on market day. And for fear it should rain or the snowflakes fly, he brought a brolly to keep it dry. He never did threat, nor few. He always knew just where it was. And when, said Ned, in my bed I lie, there's no better nightcap money can buy. There's no better bonnet to be found in all the world around. And furthermore, was there ever a hat as scared as a mouse or as scared as a rat? Have you ever heard of a tale like that, of Knockety Ned's and the tale of his cat?
Good afternoon, my name is Anna Houghton and I will be performing on my own from the Miserable. On my own, pretending he's beside me. All alone, I walk with him till morning. Without him, I feel his arms around me. And when I lose my way, I close my eyes and he has found me. In the rain, the pavement shines like silver. The nights are misty in the river. In the darkness, the trees often of starlight, and all I see is him and me forever and forever. And I know it's only in my mind that I am talking to myself, not to him. And although I know that he is blind, still I say there's a way for us. I love him, but when the night is over, he is gone. The river's just a river. Without him, the world around me changes. The trees are barren everywhere, the streets are full of strangers. I love him, but every day I'm running. All my life, I've only been pretending. Without me, his world go on turning. A world that's full of happiness that I have never known. I love him. I love him. I love him, but only on my own.
Hello, my name is William Jones Elliott and I'll be reciting Hobbity Gobbity Wobbity by Michael Rosen. It was a stormy night on Christmas Day as I fell awake in the Santa Fe. The ship in the dock was at the end of its trip and the man on board was the captain of the ship. The man's name was Old Ben Brown. He'd play ukulele with his trousers down. The jelly, the turkey and the old ship's cook all jumped out of a recipe book. The jelly wobbled, the turkey gobbled, and after them both, the old man hobbled. Hobbity, gobbity, wobbity. hobbity wobbity hobbity hobbity.
Good afternoon. My name is Sophia Birch, and I'll be performing He's a Pirate by Hans Zimmer.
Hello, my name is Nina Chernyavsky, and I will be reciting the poem War Photographer by Caroline Duffy. In his dark room, he is finally alone, with spools of suffering set out in ordered rows. The only light is red, and softly glows, as though this were a church, and he, a priest preparing to intone a mass. Belfast, Beirut, Phnom Penh, all flesh is grass. He has a job to do, solutions slop and trays beneath his hands, which do not tremble, though seem to now. Rural England, home again, to ordinary pain which simple weather can dispel, to fields which don't explode beneath the feet of running children in nightmare heat. Something is happening. A stranger's features faintly start to twist before his eyes, a half-formed ghost. He then remembers the cries of this man's wife, how he sought approval without words to do what someone must, how blood stains into foreign dust. 100 agonies in black and white, from which his editor will only pick out 5 or 6 for Sunday supplement. The reader's eyeballs will prick with tears between the bath and the pre-lunch beers. From the airplane, he impassively stares at where he earns his living, but they do not care.
Good afternoon. I'm Ruben Fowler, and I'm going to be playing Drown by Bring Me the Horizon.
Close my eyes, hold my breath and let it burn me.
My name is Nico Fittett, and I'll be performing The Great Escape March by Bernstein. I'm Rose Thompson, and I'll be reciting People Will Always Need People by Benjamin Zephaniah. People need people to walk to talk to cry and rely on. People will always need people. To love and to miss, to hug and to kiss. It's useful to have other people. To whom to moan when you're all alone. It's so hard to share when no one is there. There's not much to do when there's no one but you. People will always need people. To please, to tease, to put you at ease. People will always need people. To make life appealing and to give life some meaning, it's useful to have other people. If you need a change, to whom will you turn? If you need a lesson, from whom will you learn? If you need to play, you'll know what I say. People will always need people. As girlfriends, as boyfriends, from Bombay to Ostend, people will always need people. To have friendly fights with and share tasty bites with. It's useful to have other people. People live in families, gangs, posses and packs. It seems we need company before we relax. So stop making enemies and let's face the facts. People will always need people. Yes, people will always need people.
My name is Josh Darby, and I'll be playing Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. afternoon. My name is Freddie Russell and I'm going to be reciting The Schoolboy by William Blake. I love to rise in the summer morn when the birds sing in every tree. The distant huntsman winds his horn and the skylark sings with me. Oh, what sweet company. But to go to school in the summer morn, oh, it drives all joy away. Under a cruel eye outworn, the little ones spend the day in sigh and dismay. Ah, then at times I drooping sit and spend many nights a sour, nor my book can I take delight, nor sit in learning's bower, worn through with a dreary shower. How can a bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child in fears annoy, but droop his tender wing, and forget his youthful spring? O father and mother, buds nicks and blossoms blown away, and if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the spring day, by sorrow and care's dismay. How shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? Or how shall we gather what griefs destroy, or bless the mellowing year, when the blasts of winter appear?
My name is Leon Dukes Aguirre and I will be playing Nothing Else Matters by Hetfield and Ulrich.
afternoon, I'm Dylan Fry, and today I'll be reciting The War by Alfred Lord Tennyson. There is a sound of thunder afar, storm in the south that darkens the day, storm of battle, thunder and war. Well, if it do not roll our way, form, form, rifleman, form, ready be ready to meet the storm, rifleman, 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 form. Be not deaf to the sound that warns, be not gulled by a despot's plea. Are figs of thistles or grapes of thorns? How should a despot set men free? Form, form, rifleman, form, ready be ready to meet the storm, rifleman, 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 form. Let your reforms for a moment go, look to your butts and make good aim. Better a rotten borough or so than a rotten fleet or city in flames. Form, form, rifleman, form, ready be ready to meet the storm. Rifleman, 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 form. Form, be ready to do or die. Form in freedom's name and the Queen's. True, we have a faithful ally, but only the devil knows what he means. Form, form, rifleman, form, ready be ready to meet the storm. Rifleman, 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 form!
Hello, my name is Roshan, and I'll be playing Idiot by Cecil Chaminade.
And I will be reciting Mr. Pennycumquick by Charles Causley. Mr. Hector Pennycumquick stood on the castle keep, opened up a carriage umbrella, and took a mighty leap. Hooray, cried Mr. Pennycumquick as he went through the air. I've always wanted to go like this, from here to Newport Square. But Mr. Hector Pennycumquick never did float nor fly. He landed in an ivy bush, his legs up in the sky. Mr. Hector Pennycumquick then hurried home to bed, a lump the size of a seagull's egg on the top of his head. But Mr. Hector Pennycumquick said, so sorry for causing all this fuss. Next time I go to Newport Square, I think I'll take the bus. The moral of this little tale is difficult to refute. A carriage umbrella is a carriage umbrella, and not a parachute.
Hello, my name is Yashir Guru, and I'll be playing Hogthorn Pipe by
by Nikki Isles.
Hello, my name is Panashe Marzingo, and I will be reciting The Watchers by Joseph Coelho. The children felt their eyes burning down into their backs. They turned and saw 3 statues down with the cross tracks. Their legs were thin and sharp, their heads were bronze blocks. The children grasped their courage, took aim with dirt and rocks. Stones clanged off the metal, mud sucked to faceless grins. The children kept up their assault, then heard a malefic din. A droning from the statues, a blade scraped teeth in the drawer, a sound so full of hatred that the children dropped down to the floor. They quivered as the snow fell on this bone October night. The statues gawped sightless as the moon began to bright. The children's knees were knocking, tears juggling from their eyes. The statues kept up their stare, eager for the prize. One child ventured nearer, though fear told her to flee. The statue's gazes deepened, each peered more hungrily. She ventured a hand to feel the bronze-black shining skin. The statue's tense to the touch. The girl felt her fingers sting. A smudge of red, barely visible amongst the metal and the mud. The children fled, screaming. The girl sucked at her blood. The statues on the cross tracks had hoped the children would linger. They rippled as they savoured the taste of that girl's finger. Now listen carefully to the words that I will say. For the darkness of night can't be shrouded by day. The statues are always watching from the tracks upon the hill. They sing for flesh and blood. They're out there singing still.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jung Shedil, and today I'll be reciting the poem Do I Know You by Michael Rosen. I'm lost. I don't know where I am. I'm a thok in a washing machine. A strawberry in some jam. Or I guess a sandwich. I'm a letter in a book. I'm a bubble in some fizz. I'm a pebble on a beach. I am a question in a quiz. I don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. You don't know who I is. I don't know how you was. And you don't know who I was.
So find me. Find me. Ask me who I am.
Get me out the washing machine.
Fish me out of the jam. Open up the book.
Let me have all the bees. Oh!
Let's take a walk on the beach. And I'll answer your quiz. Then I'll know who you are. You'll know who I is. I'll know how you was, and you'll know who I is.
My name is Sam Collins and I'll be performing Hedwig's Theme by John Williams.
Good afternoon. My name is Anne Houghton and I will be reciting Spring Song by William Blake. Spring is coming, spring is coming. Birdies, build your nests. Weave together, straw and feather, doing each your best. Spring is coming, spring is coming. Flowers are coming too. Pansies, lilies, daffodils now are coming through. Spring is coming, all around is fair. Shimmer and quiver on the river, joy is everywhere.
My name is Nico Fickett. I'll be performing Solfeggietto in C minor by C.P.E. Bach.
from Year 7 and 8, but we now have a siblings performance from Anna and Thomas. Meanwhile, the adjudicators will be choosing the winners.
Hello, my name is Thomas and me and Anna will be playing When the Saints Go Marching In.
Thank you. What an incredible set of performances we had there. As you can tell by the time that it took in there, it was no easy decision in terms of placing you into our winner and runner-up for each category. So well done, first and foremost, to every performer. And before we go on to the individual prizes, I think we should give all of you a super round of applause for it. Just to give a nod to the spectators, it's really, really important for performers to feel that they have the spectators on side. And it's really impressive when you can see the smiles on their faces as they're performing, the catch the eye perhaps of a parent or a friend in there. It's so important to put them at ease. So spectators, Year 7 and 8, parents, guests, thank you so much for your part in that too. Now we're going to go to our music prizes. So Catherine, over to you.
I forgot I was here to do a job this afternoon because that has been such a treat to sit and listen to some wonderful musicians. Really well done. It is a celebration of all the hard work you've done. Really lots of weeks and weeks and weeks of practice of doing scales and just working and then focusing on one particular piece that you're going to perform today. That really must be commended. It is today, with your age group and your level of musicianship, another level that I'm really looking forward to choose a winner and a first and second place. So you can all play really well. That's taken as, you know, that's it. But we take it to the next level. How are you communicating to your audience? Do you know your piece? What's your piece about? What are you trying to share about your piece? How well do you know it? What are you trying to say? Is the sound of your instrument, how is that affecting somebody in the audience? That's the next level of performance that you are at now. So the decisions I've made today, if I came tomorrow and heard you all again tomorrow, I might choose different people. And you might be sitting there thinking, I know who's going to be first and second. But this is the decision I've come to is based on that extra bit of performance. And how did I feel when I was listening to the performance? So, taking all of that into consideration, what the colour of the piece was, what the dynamics, the understanding of the style, I've come to these decisions. So, second place, because it was so tricky, I've chosen two people. Controversial. The second places go to Nicholas on the piano and Roshan on the piano. So first place. On the drums, Ruben.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of what Catherine was saying about the music applies to the reading of poetry if you're going about it seriously. And we had some very serious presentations this afternoon. I'm bowled over by the talent of so many young people. Very difficult to come to decisions. What I was looking for really was the feeling that you have if you're standing here. You in a sense are an instrument. And you're conveying the meaning that that poet had when he wrote those things down. Can you put it across to the audience? And you were a very good audience, the way you responded, I thought, this afternoon. And it comes down to, have you chosen the right poem in the first place? Is it the sort of poem that you can engage with, that you're enthusiastic about? Because that will come across to the audience. And when you're reading it, have you got a sense of the rhythms that are in that poem? It doesn't have to rhyme, but there'll be a sense of rhythm, and can you go with that and make it sound as if it's natural? And is your voice natural, or are you trying to show off, because that never works? And are you enjoying the fun that's in the poem? Those are the things I was looking for. And are you attacking the poem? Is your diction crisp when you start a line and it goes across and it doesn't fade away to the end? All of those things matter if you're standing up reciting poetry to an audience. And so it was difficult, because we had some very, very good presentations this afternoon. But in the end, I did come down to just 2. And our second prize goes to Rose Thompson. And now, the first prize, and I have difficulty with this young man's name. Youngsha Dale. I got that one right.
Well, well done to all of our prize winners, and of course to all of our performers. Now we also have our arts prize winners to award. So let's see here first of all. Our art runner-up in Year 7 is Brooke Ryan. Year 7 art winner is Sangmu Lama. Year 8, our runner-up is Darcy Knight. Year 8 Eisteddfod Art winner, Harriet Barnes. Not had a chance to look at the artwork from all of our finalists, I mean, of course, our runners-up and winners, then please do so. They are out on display in the entryway to Ralph today. Again, well done to everyone. It was a phenomenal competition, a really lovely round-off to the day, and we will certainly be awarding shortly our badges for all of our finalists. Now, just one extra special mention for Max again. Max, you want to talk about your extra gift for our poetry entrance today?
The Houseman Society, of which I'm secretary, as you've heard, came into being here in 1973. And one of the things we attach a lot of importance to is encouraging young people to take an interest in poetry. And we seem to be succeeding in Bromsgrove Prep School anyway. Because A. Houseman came to this school in 1870 as an 11-year-old, having won a scholarship. He lived in the town. His father was a town solicitor. And he won prizes at Bromsgrove School. He won prizes for Latin and Greek. And he got his scholarship to Oxford. And he would go on to become probably the most famous classical scholar of the early 20th century, renowned throughout Europe and the United States. He spent 30 years of his life working on the texts of one Roman poet. Nowadays, most of that is completely forgotten. And what he's remembered for is a few poems, a very few poems, and most famously, that little volume of poetry called A Shropshire Lad, which he wrote in 1896. There are only 63 poems in it, and there are lines in there which, when you read them, you'll probably remember for the rest of your life. Famous lines about blue remembered hills and land of lost content. And at this time of year, his famous poem about loveliest of trees, the cherry now, because it's coming up to Easter. But he's remembered for that poetry. And if you walk down Bromsgrove High Street, as I'm sure some of you do sometime, you'll walk past his statue. Probably never noticed. But as well as writing poems like that, he had a sense of humour. And when he went to stay with relatives down in Gloucestershire, where there were 2 daughters, he always went armed with some comic verses, some nonsense verses. And I brought along today a volume of his collected comic verse for every one of those who read a poem this afternoon. The Houseman Society would like you to have that. And just to give you a bit of flavour, and it is nonsense, Amelia mixed the mustard. She mixed it good and thick. She put it in the custard and made her mother sick. And showing satisfaction by many a loud huzzah, observe, said she, the action of mustard on mamma. A. Houseman.
So, if I can invite, please, all of you who performed a poem this afternoon to come forward to collect your Eisteddfod badges and your book. Do come forward. So if you've already come up as you've done a poem and then you've done music as well, if you stay seated with our musicians, if you come now please. Let's give them a round of applause. finally our artists. Well done. I invite our head boy and head girl to come forward.
On behalf of Bromsgrove School, we would like to express our deepest thanks for carrying out the role of the Eisteddfod adjudicator today.
As a token of our appreciation and gratitude, we'd like to offer you these flowers and also give you a final thanks.
Thank you, Catherine and Max. Thank you to Ivani and Edward. Thank you, parents, for coming, for having supported your children through all of their rehearsals. Thank you, pupils, for sitting patiently and being such a fabulous audience. Thank you, finally, performers, again, for your superb performances, and teachers, for all of the work that you've done in helping the children, either in English lessons and rehearsals, in music lessons, and for all of our accompanist. But most importantly, thank you for what has been a super and wonderful afternoon. To everybody, one final round of applause.